Oh, hello again. It's you.
Oh, it's me. Hi. What up?
I'm Serge. How are y'all
Hi.
living? I'm
Hey, I'm
hosting the
great.
World Rundown, and if you look next to me is none other than my sister from another Mr. Miss Dre. All right, that's a
It's,
what is going on,
it's it.
everybody, and welcome back to the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling sports entertainment. I am one half your host, duo Serge Vicente, and next to me, as always, is my sister from another Mr. Miss Dre. Miss Dre, what is going on?
What it do, baby?
She is out here. What it do, baby?
I'm so
Uh,
dang on tired right now. I am delirious. So whatever comes out of my mouth, I apologize in advance.
Good. That means somebody won't be there to like hate on all of the fun stuff I have to say today. Thank goodness. All right. Hope you guys
Oh
are lucky. And if
God.
you guys have watched live, thank you for watching live right now. We are absolutely, as always, we are on the Scrap News' YouTube channel, the fastest growing YouTube channel in all of combat sports. If you want the absolute best in combat sports media, don't go to those other sites. Those the ones that people say are the bigger sites, the one, I'm saying, with MMA in the title and whatnot. No, we're not going there. You need to go out here and check out Scrap News for, like I said, the absolute best, most ethical, and everything in sports and combat sports journalism. Check them out today. Please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this. And again, YouTube channel got a whole bunch of dope shit too. Check that out. All right, but today, Ms. Dre and everybody else who is here, we are gonna go ahead and discuss a couple things. AEW Full Gears this weekend, but War Games is coming up. Beyonce and them, or should I say Bianca and them, got a whole new, a member of their crew. We got all kind of good stuff happening in the world of professional wrestling sports entertainment. I mean, look, we have, Swerve and Our Glories going back out there against the Acclaimed. I mean, there is some really, really dope stuff happening. And it wasn't like Eddie and Santos and somebody today, all kinds of good stuff happening. We have a lot to discuss. Before we get to that, Ms. Dre, how are you feeling?
Yeah, all that what you said. No, we get very, again, I think I said this a couple times in the last few weeks. We are very, very spoiled as wrestling fans these days. There is so much wrestling happening right now, and it's mostly all good. Like, it's good to
Mostly.
great. Like, it's good to great with very
Yeah.
little bad. Like, and even
Yeah.
the stuff that's bad is really just depending on your taste. Like, it's just not necessarily for you or for me or whatever. But there's
For
just
sure.
so much in wrestling right now that's just so fly. The fact that we've got 2 weekends of really cool pay-per-views that are
Premium
about to
live
happen.
events,
A pay-per-view and a premium live event, if you will.
if you will.
If you will. So that's just really, it's just exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
And
Yeah, for sure.
it kind of, you and I have been talking all week. Like, we've even been going back and just watching some old stuff and just even trying to semi compare. Like, it's hard, you don't want to try to compare because you're not supposed to, but like, yo, is this like the best time in wrestling next to the Attitude Era? Like, is it better than Attitude Era? Like, what are we?
Look, you might be onto something. I'm not even gonna stunt because as of right now, and I've said this time and time again, in trips we trust. All right. On one side, I mean, look, the Click One, they literally you
They beat
got
wrestling.
HBKs and all their sons over in AEW. You have H and all his sons over in WWE. Like we all know what it is. Okay, we all know what it is, and honestly, the eras are relatively fantastic. But it does bring a question up, and I want to ask you because we did have I'm sorry, and I hate to be rude, we had the girl with the weird haircut and the whole blackface come out there against not blackface, but half blackface, I guess. Again, with the Viking Raiders, and she had the witchy fingers. She
That
had
would
the
be Sarah
Scarlet Witch
Logan.
fingers. What's her name?
Yes, that would be Sarah
Yes.
Logan of the Viking
Sarah
Raiders. Yes,
Logan of the Viking Raiders. Yes.
formerly of the Riot Squad when that was a
Of the
thing.
Riot Squad, whatever
Yes.
that may be.
That was Ruby Riot back in the day when Ruby Riot was still back in the day. That was not that long ago, but Ruby Riot
Wait,
was
real quick. Who in the
nope,
blood clot
some
was
kind of
out
spam,
here? Come on, spam bots.
some kind of
This ain't
spam bot
Twitter.
to join the chat.
Get off my chat. Kind of nonsense is this? Joey, I'm blaming this on you. What kind of stuff are you looking up on your YouTube page for this to be popping up? That's what I'm saying. These are jokes, folks. These are jokes.
So many jokes.
So many jokes. All right. But the question I did have is this: we do
Yes.
have the Viking Raiders,
Yes.
and you can tell that Trips and they're doing the vignettes and they're like gearing, they're really building them up. And even in NXT, we have these two, brown gentlemen. I don't know if they're Indian, they're Middle Eastern of some sort. I don't know if
Yes.
I don't know if they're Pakistani or Indian or whatever they are. I generally don't know. And obviously, I want to honor their background, but they have a specific gimmick, right? The Viking Raiders and them and a couple other people within the pro wrestling right now have a gimmick, and I'm gonna be very blunt. And not only them either. I mean, literally Braun Strowman, like all these dudes. Here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a place for 80s gimmick wrestling or the 80s gimmicks in modern day wrestling? Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think it's trash. It's not realistic. We don't have Vikings running around talking about raid, doing stuff, dressing crazy. Like we've gotten to a point where we're just talking about the Attitude Era. What made the Attitude Era so great? They got out of the way. They literally left behind the gimmicks and gave us these actual more real feeling characters. An extension, you might even say, of whom these people might have already be. The Rock is Dwayne Johnson elevated. Stone Cold is whatever the fuck Stone Cold's name is, elevated, right? That is exactly who these people are. Like, even to the point that I'm looking at people like LA Knight, who is Triple H, who is
LA Knight,
who is absolutely The Rock and Stone Cold's son. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's giving Mr. Kennedy vibes, or Mr. Anderson, decided whoever you want to call him, Mr. Kennedy.
Whoever you want to call. Hey, that
Kennedy.
dude. I am here for the tomfoolery with him. Yeah. But those type of characters, even to the point that Roman Reigns, the moment that he gave up the big dog kind of character and he started essentially becoming Joe, people started fucking with him more. So I'm gonna bring it back to you. How do you feel about it? And is there a place for it now? Or is it kind of getting to the point that it's corny?
So
I think it's corny.
Great question. This is what I will say. I think that there is always, I think there's always a place for creativity. And I think that sometimes us millennial fans and older, I think we forget.
What? I'm a mad hypocrite though, because I love Luchasaurus. So okay,
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there, right? And actually, so this actually ties. Luchasaurus is a great example of kind of my point. We have to remember that we are in our 30s and we're watching wrestling, but so let's just remember that. And if you look out to the wrestling crowd, there are babies, there are kids out there, and so all of these companies have the have the distinct and really nuanced job of trying to entertain an audience that is a very big, vast like spectrum. We're talking
demographic
kids,
is from like 7 to 60.
Literally, like, so in a 3-hour Raw, for example, you're gonna get something for everyone. And that includes some of these like super weird gimmick, not weird, but super gimmicky gimmicks. So
super niche, very specific gimmicks.
Niche, or I don't even say niche. Niche is I don't even think that's the word for it. I think they do I think wrestling is at its best when one wrestler or one team can reach as many people as possible. And although you might be, and I'll use the luchadors as an example. All the luchadors are so amazing, and we all love them. But they mean extra. We all love them. Like we all love luchadors, right? But that is a very culturally specific kind of wrestling. But we all love
and maybe that's why, and that's why I get down with it, because it's culturally specific. We understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? We understand
what it could potentially mean to those people, right? And
exactly. And
but the point is,
when you understand the history of it, that makes sense.
Yeah. But my point is, to a non-cultured person, so a person who maybe doesn't understand that culture, they see a gimmick. They see mask, flips, pomp and circumstance, and spectacle. That's what they see. They don't really necessarily understand that it comes from a cultural thing. All they see is spectacle.
Right.
But whether they see it as spectacle or see it as cultural, they still see it as entertaining. And so that's what I mean by overarching. So to a very long-winded version of the answer is, I think there is a place for these, for kind of 80s style gimmicks with modern day tweaks. We also have to remember when the new generation wrestlers were coming out, we didn't have cinematic wrestling. We didn't have all the tools, the social media. You could do they had vignettes and stuff. They would do videos and vignettes for characters, but they weren't near the production quality wasn't exactly what it is now. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
In any company. We've got even your lowest budget company right now can put out a better video than used to come out.
Sure. I can put out a better video on my phone.
1990. Exactly. So
for sure.
There's a space for it. I think there's a space for it. I think the creativity is the it can make or break it. Luchasaurus works because it's still grounded in some fun reality. When they first dropped Luchasaurus in AEW, right? Jungle Boy, he had a crew, and Jungle Boy was Jungle Boy, and of course that works. His name Jungle Boy, Jungle Jack Perry.
Terrible name.
He's going by Jack Perry now. But
I'm so happy he's going back Jack Perry now.
But the gimmick got over. You got to remember,
Dad is now 90210 legend. We know Jack.
Rest his soul. You know what I'm
you
saying?
Supposed to be just be Jack Perry. But again, but that says something that's also, and I admit it. That's what I like too.
But he got over.
Right?
So like whether regardless of what we like or not, right? It got over, and he was one of the biggest. And he still is. He's he's in a character evolution at the moment, but that's the point. Yeah. I think that's the other piece. You can have a really gimmicky gimmick, but eventually I think the difference is that the lifeline of it, or isn't as long anymore because of the times. So Jungle Boy is now Jungle Jack Perry, and that's a natural evolution of that character. It makes
sense. And I'm okay with that. And if that is the case, so let me ask you this to kind of transition from that question. Sure. And this is what I want to get a little spicy, because we're going to talk about the best and the worst. Since who are your favorite current gimmick wrestlers, and who are your least favorite current gimmick wrestlers? Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. We're gonna be messy today.
Okay, one of my favorites. This is just I'm going just kind of left fieldish, but not left field. Yeah. Really, everybody loves the Acclaimed, and Scissor Daddy is a gimmick. It's gimmicky, and everybody loves the Acclaimed. That's
everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Funny.
Yes,
and even kids. The thing I love about that, it is very DX, right? So that's clearly for the adults. But it's almost just safe enough for the kids because they don't know what that means.
Nope.
You're going
to have little kids in classes talking about Scissor Me Daddy.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's and I say safe enough because they're thinking that we're really talking about scissors. Office.
What do you mean? We're not?
Office, exactly.
I do declare. Don't tell me we are not. I am taking it back. Okay,
what? I'm a lady.
But oh my goodness! What? What do you mean it's not about scissors?
But I think that's great. That's probably one of the best. That's a really great one going currently.
You know what? Because I didn't think of them as a gimmick act. I guess that is a gimmick, but if you look at the gear, everything, they are technically a gimmick act. So with that being said, they're on my top 3 also.
Yeah. I guess.
You know why? Do you want to know why?
Because everybody loves the Acclaim.
Because everybody loves the Acclaim. First of all, I've been seeing grown ass men in the thing. Like, wait, time out real quick. Did somebody scissor each other in the WWE? I feel like somebody threw up that recent, talking shit. I don't know. I feel like There have been other people doing
He
little
says,
things,
he says, they did something with the
playing with
DX, like,
office equipment or some
and he said
shit. They're
playing with
like,
office
he's over there
furniture.
doing something with office equipment.
But
Yeah,
that
okay.
like that's a shout out though. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying? It
love that.
sounds shady, but
You
it's
know
not.
why?
It's really
Because
it's just
everybody
a
loves
shout
the
out.
acclaim.
Because everybody loves
That's
the
all
acclaim.
that is.
Exactly.
Everybody
I
loves the
love
acclaim.
it.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
I think
What else you
that's
got?
one of the best ones right now.
Current one. Yeah.
Um,
Because they really are, but that's the thing about him, right?
yeah.
They're you know what? No, they're totally gimmicks because he's even that's
Prepping. So
they're the mix between DX and John Cena.
correct.
That's exactly who they are. The doctor of thugonomics, John Cena, actually, because them nursery rhymes be ass. All right, it is hilarious that you have a legitimate rapper on the other side. Like Swerve can actually rap.
He can't.
And then you have my man out here talking about a hip, a hop, a hip it to the hip, hip, hop you don't stop. Like,
My
and
name
the
is
crowd
Drake. I
loves it.
came to say that I'm gonna
Yo.
do rhymes all day.
Like I be like, I want like, come on, man. Like I get it. Like they
Bars.
cover there.
What's up?
Listen. Like nigga, what? Shut up, man. Like okay, I get it.
But you know what? It's so terrible. It's funny.
But no,
That's why
but again, totally gimmick. And again,
it's why we're entertained.
everybody loves the acclaim. They're great. I love those nursery rhyme raps. He makes me giggle most times. Sometimes I literally like I feel like I'm in like I feel like I'm in one of those movies and that shit happens and he says it. I'd be like,
not fourth wall break. Y'all hear that, right? Y'all heard that? Okay.
I swear, I be in my own rom-com and that shit happens all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the worst ones, you've already talked about it. The Viking Raiders, man, listen.
They're my one of my least favorite groups out there. Like they're not it's not believable. You guys continually try to rebrand them, try to bring them back with an edge. They're goofy. Then you gave them an edge, and then they're goofy. And then, bro, like, I think we were at the point that you realize, and now you're trying to throw a woman in the mix because every clique got a woman in the mix now. Which
she was there to begin with. So that I mean, I know you don't know that, but she was.
Them dudes,
she's married
when
to
I
one
saw
of
them
so
doing
in real life. So yeah,
the lame Olympics with the Street Profits, like in them, like I was like, yo, these dudes garb. Like I'm sorry, like, so that gimmick to me, I'm with you. It's ass. I got another one for you.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Braun Strowman ain't it. The Giant. To me, Omos and them, Omos, granted, everybody's saying he's getting better, and I understand it and I appreciate it, right? The Giant gimmick to me isn't it? Because here's the thing: it's people are like, and I remember while I listened to Braun Strowman or reading his tweet, right? And when he was talking about like it's more believable that these big guys and blah blah blah. Have you really fought anybody in real life? Because most times these big guys really can't fight. Do you want to know why? Because most big guys never really have to fight. So they just use big guy intimidation. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so like you just am huge, bro. You just am huge. And that is totally fine. But to me, that gimmick just raw Hulk smash and runs around I think that is an old dated gimmick.
I think it works. It's old. It is old and
with
dated.
The right person. With the right person, it works. I think Braun is trash.
Let me tell you where it works, or the only way it works. Big, you know, whether you're big this way or that way or both, right? It only works when you have charisma. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley.
But here's the
Brock
thing.
Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Big
E. But they don't. But those three guys are. They're not the Giants that I'm talking about.
But what I'm saying
about the 6'8" plus. No. 6'5" dudes. We've been seeing 6'5" dudes get busy forever. The Rock is that size. Stone Cold is that size. We've seen those guys get busy. You know, so for me, I'm like those are like
Brock
middle
linebackers. Considered a big. Brock Lesnar is
he's
considered
6'5".
You got to remember though, he's considered a monster like Braun Strowman is.
Yeah, no, he's a beast. Total different.
Okay, so he's a beast ain't a monster.
Okay,
I'm about to throw this laptop at you.
Different.
Don't give me. Okay.
No, okay, I hear what you're saying. I think in terms of that though, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about girth. I'm talking about the Giant that is like 7 feet tall. and here's the thing, Brock Lesnar, I don't like putting in that mix because Brock Lesnar is an athlete.
Because he's
And
athletic
he can, and all those guys, sometimes it gets to a point of diminishing returns when you have these huge guys that aren't really athletes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Braun is a strongman athlete, so he has done things and he is athletic. But in terms of his performance, like, to me, that type of guy isn't for me. Now, if you did have a dude Braun size, right? Oh, perfect example. Prime example. Remember Vader?
Yeah.
And Vader used to jump on the fucking hit the
Vader
thing
bomb.
and do swantons and shit, mm-hmm. right? Big ass be jumping all over the place, right?
I got one for you. Early-ish Undertaker.
Early-ish Undertaker jumping on the top. Perfect example, right? Yeah. Undertaker is the giant, but he was doing amazing shit. So
he
when
was
you
doing
saw
athletic things, yeah.
He was diving over the top rope. He was having the little whole hand holding thing where the guy helps you walk on the ropes. He was doing all that cool shit, right?
Yes.
Like, that's cool. So for me, the dated big guy that is only a big Hulk smash, to me, I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, I think Omos has potential to be.
Omos has potential because he has charisma.
Yeah,
and he has. And he's a part of the Hurt Business. I said it here first. The Hurt Business is coming back. And they're all of you gonna have all. Yeah, listen.
Yes. Bring back the Hurt.
Every time you see Bobby take it, hell no.
I should have a sign. Bring back the Hurt Business. Like every
think it's
week,
happening.
Every week.
Shelton Benjamin has been on TV 3 weeks in a row. And I cannot believe it.
It's happening.
And he's having good matches. Well, he's having good matches. First of all,
freaking great.
Gotta take a time out to give a shout out to my boy Dom.
Oh, hell.
Oh, man.
We need to have a segment now. And Serge is my boy Dom.
I have not talked about my boy Dom for a few episodes.
You are lying. You talk to him about him every week. These are lies.
Look, no.
Check them notes. They're in there.
One thing that I'll say about Dom, he's doing a great job of being the insufferable heel. Yeah. Like, running to Shelton Benjamin, like, literally talking shit behind, Puerto Rican DJ's back, and is over here and like, yo, you don't want no smoke. Like, it was fantastic. He's doing a great job. Actually, there's so much great shit going on. Okay, let's continue with this real quick. Are there any other gimmicks give me one more gimmick that you do like, one more gimmick that you're not a fan of?
I like Hit Row as a gimmick.
That's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick. I love them. I think they're great. Yeah. I like that. I am actually cool with the slowish build burn of what we're having right now. Like, I think that all three of them have such charisma. They're working out kinks and working out kinks. They're getting storylines. I think they're, once they get the right storyline. Legato, exactly. I don't consider Legato a gimmick, but I actually can see.
I don't either.
It's when you add Zelina in there, it kind of gets a little gimmick-ish. It's gimmick-like, so I get it. But because old school valet, etc. Right? So, and I like.
But the thing is, Zelina gets busy though. That's the thing. She's not just a regular valet. She gets busy, but she's a fantastic valet.
And I hope they get Homegirl back from NXT too, like eventually. I feel like that's going to come through eventually once she gets some more reps in her.
You know what? She just wasn't ready yet. If she looked at it, she was the one that kind of wasn't. She was a little rough around the edges, but she was good. Like, I'm a fan of what she does. Yeah. She was still good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's be fair. Like, if they have an opportunity to get Zelina in there, it's kind of like, damn, sorry.
Zelina's been underused for a really, really long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just time.
It's give her like an opportunity, and it really seems like they're going to give Santos a decent push, which I'm excited about.
Which is great. He should probably have a very good showing in the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those like star-making showings, and it'll be great. Question:
Why? This is a good question. Why was Paige or Soraya, however you say her name, medically cleared in AEW but not WWE? Because the Tony Khan probably just said, "Fuck it, do what you do." I don't know, like,
all on me.
Please, Ms. Dre. Why is it that this is the case?
The smoke in the street is
Yes, please explain.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
the reason why Soraya Page did not re-sign with WWE had nothing to do with her not being medically cleared. I think she was already kind of cleared-ish, but they didn't have anything for her at that time, and so they're using the medically cleared thing as a storyline piece for AEW because everyone is curious about it. But I think that was already a situation that was already taken care of probably quite a while ago, actually. So there's that on
There
that.
we go.
But it's also, it also could be a very similar thing to the Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan thing as well. You know what I mean? He was allegedly, again, these are all just reports, but he was allegedly cleared in other places first, and WWE kept saying no, 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 and then finally WWE agreed, and that's why he had that last run at WWE before he left and went to AEW. But
okay, well, you have to understand too that WWE is such a big business incorporated. They cannot afford to really, unless you're super clear, to do something wild like that. Real quick, are you asking current or all time? Because that is a very different question. So let me know what you're talking about. All right. Gimmick wise, I think that's great.
Questions in the comments. Yes.
Love that. Please keep asking questions. We will absolutely continue.
We will absolutely answer those.
So, and again, guys, remember, if you're in the comments right now, you're part of the show. That's how we get down here. You're part of the show. Entertain. Like I pull questions and shit up. Like we'll make that shit happen. And Undertaker is a GOAT. Is he my GOAT? Nah, he's not. But he is just chef's kiss, one of the greatest to ever do it. He is on the Mount Rushmore for sure.
I struggle because that whole thin blue line shirt in his documentary.
He was rocking one of them.
Yeah, I mean, the man's from Texas, so I guess.
But he's from Austin.
That's supposed to be different.
Yeah, they're supposed to be liberal there.
I mean, listen, I Texas, you're talking to someone where Undertaker was literally like my top 2 favorite wrestler when I was younger. Like he was one of my goats for sure. And I've just felt away ever since I saw that heebie-jeebies. Ever since that. Not as bad as Hulk Hogan, obviously, but still.
Come on, brother.
Yes, there's a place for 80s gimmicks in wrestling when done right.
If done right.
And that's what we're saying.
Absolutely. But to put a button on this one, I think, there, like I said, there definitely is a place for it if it's done well. And the problem is, though, that's the biggest problem. A lot of times they're not done well. Yeah. And that's why when you do see somebody like the Acclaimed who are killing it, that's why they're so over right now. They're over as fuck because it is an old gimmick. They're literally giving you Doctor of Thugonomics and DX in one. Literally, we have a DX member in the group. You know what I mean? Like, it is definitely DX.
Can't get more on the nose than that.
Can't get more on the nose than that. So, I mean, look, there definitely is a place for that. So, love that. Thank you guys for your comments on that one. That's a good one. All right. But since we're talking about the 80s era, and I promise you guys, we're going to talk about Full Gear in a little bit too. But I have to ask you this. Since we're talking about 80s era gimmicks and different things like that, which wrestler from another era would you like to see today? And who you think can really, like, if they were in today, who would you like to see? And I don't care if you're talking about 60s, 70s, 80s, Attitude Era, ruthless aggression, brother.
Aggression.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, era we had.
I've got 2 on my head.
Okay.
One is Jacqueline. The first Black woman I ever saw wrestle. Jacqueline.
Okay. I know you're talking about. Wasn't she just in the Royal Rumble like last year for a hot second?
You might be referring to Jazz.
I don't be knowing.
But Jazz is also amazing, and she very much also her too. But I think I would have really liked to see. They didn't let when Jacqueline was wrestling. They were very much in the Sable and Sunnies and. Trish Stratus just even was just coming up like them, that kind of realm. And they weren't really allowed to wrestle like that. And she actually could. And I would love to see that era Jacqueline versus Bianca Belair or Bailey or Charlotte.
Yeah,
Like I would have
yeah,
like I think that she would I think that would be really interesting. I know that her character might be a little bit different because she really fluctuated between whatever
yeah,
they were giving her at that time. Because again, they
yeah,
didn't give the
for
women
sure.
that much thought for real, except for boobies and
What up,
puppies.
Lee? Nah, that's what. No,
So
you're right.
all that. So that's the first one that popped into my head. Um, the other one, Ricky Steamboat's a good show.
Ricky
My gosh.
Steamboat's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
a great shot. Steamboat versus Ricochet. Yes, please.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah,
We
I'll
gotta
take
get
that.
some love to my
Thanks.
boy Ricochet in a little bit too, man. Because you
Yeah.
know what? That brother is fantastic. One of my
Yeah.
current favorites. I mean, you see him get busy. I mean, what he did with LA Knight a couple of last week was awesome. It was a
Yeah, for
great
sure.
match. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Even to the point that LA Knight's going out there trying to holler at his lady before his real life lady, and he went out there and wrecked him. Loved every bit of it.
That was great.
Chef's kiss. It was awesome.
That was
But
great.
Ricky Steamboat's great. I got one for you. I mean, go give me another. Whatever. Like, we can keep listing them off.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to take your Eddie Guerrero's because I mean,
Well, you just said it. You
I'm
should have
not
said
taking.
it.
I won't take it. You can have that, and you
You
can
already
elaborate
said
on
it. It's
Eddie.
not even a surprise anymore. You already said it. Yes, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is the one that I would choose.
Let him wrestle his sons. This guy, he's got
Let him wrestle
80,000 of
all
them.
of his sons.
He
Yeah,
got
straight up.
80,000
He
of them.
has 87 sons, and I want to see him wrestle each and every
All
one of
of
them
them.
because it is wild to see that somebody who is almost an originator of a specific type of luchador style, who is still better than everybody doing it now. It's kind of crazy when you see, and I'm talking about these guys are great. I love everybody from Death Triangle. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody.
The thought that I just had in my brain.
Please tell me.
Eddie
Eddie Guerrero
versus
versus who?
Kenny Omega.
That'd be a great match. But you know what? I hate to say this, and I know I'm going to sound crazy.
Kenny
I
don't
have
do it
not
for
seen
you.
enough. Kenny don't do it. I have not seen
I know.
enough from Kenny.
I'm talking New Japan Kenny. That's what I'm talking about.
And then look, I can't even appreciate that because I hate watching grainy ass fucking tape from a decade ago. So I know he's great. I have respect for him. I don't need to see that motherfucker wrestle. I don't care. Honestly, I would like to
versus
see.
Eddie Guerrero, you'd be like, oh, never mind. I understand now.
Oh, I'm sure they get.
We needed a
I'm
simulation.
sure they would
We
get
needed a
busy.
simulation.
I'm sure they would get busy, and I'm sure it'd be a fantastic match. Look, I would like to see Eddie. I would like to see Eddie against Roman. I would like to see Eddie. Come on, Eddie versus Roman. Come, what? What? Y'all thought he had a good match with Logan Paul. Imagine what he would do with Eddie Guerrero. Okay,
Yeah.
so speaking of Eddie Guerrero,
come on, Latino y viva la raza. Yes.
There we go.
What is wrong with me? I'm so
What's
sad.
up? What's up?
Viva la raza on his chest, son. I know that's
Oh
right.
man, Prime Steamboat versus Osprey, Rollins or AJ Styles. Cannot be mad at that.
Yeah, Lee.
Thank you,
You
sir.
talking. You talking
I will
right
say
there.
this. This is a very obvious answer.
Mm.
I would have loved to see two people.
Okay.
Obviously, I want to see The Rock. I mean, I'm talking about Nation of Domination. Rocky, Rock. I want to see him now. I would love. Well, never mind. His name would be Roman Reigns. So there's that.
I didn't want to say anything. I was gonna let you ride.
There would be that. Never mind.
So you mean WrestleMania next year's main event is what you're saying?
Exactly. The other one I would like to see is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My all-time
that's
favorite
the
wrestler.
one.
It's my all-time favorite wrestler.
That's a fantastic all-time favorite wrestler.
Thank you.
You and I
favorite.
both have
fantastic. I was 5 years old, and I'm like, and I go back to make sure he's still my favorite. And I'm like, nope, yep, still my favorite.
First of all, he was when the WWE was sitting there trying to push off. No. I'm sorry. I hate to do this. I hate to say this. I'm going to be the guy. And you might think I'm a hater.
Say it.
I don't want to see Goldberg do shit.
Not a thing.
Goldberg
Don't have
trash.
Goldberg does
Okay,
not have to do a
Goldberg
thing.
been trash since trash. How can you only wrestle for not one, not two, not a 30-minute match, not even a 15-minute? That
You done
man
got him
got
started
a
now, Stephen. Look what you done
3-minute
did.
match. That is as much as he gets. And here's the thing: this man, all he does is hurt legends.
Yeah.
He is the reason that the great Bret Hart is probably not doing shit today. I swear, the moment he heard him, his hair turned gray. It was crazy. Happened in the moment. It was nuts. I'm sorry.
Hold on. From this list, let's pull some things from this list, though. Okay. Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
That
is one
Kurt
I would love to see in this era. Yes,
I can see, and he is here. His son, Gable, is right there.
Gable Stevenson's coming, people.
Not Gable Stevenson. No, I'm talking about Chad Gable.
I know you're talking about Chad Gable. I'm talking about Gable Stevenson. You know he has light-skinned children. We've seen this before. We've talked about this. Okay,
Chad Gable versus Kurt Angle. Did 20? Prime Kurt, good neck Kurt, and Chad Gable today would be an ridiculous match.
Would be an amazing match. You know what? Oh man, yeah. If you guys really want to see an amazing match, and we always try to give you guys some stuff. Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle. Look at any of them.
Any of
them, bro. When I sit there and like I hear Kurt Angle talking about it, and even Kurt's like, "Yo, this dude wasn't the same level wrestler I was," and I struggled. Like I had to like work with him because Eddie was like cold. Oh, I love it. I would love to see that. Who else? Because there are so many like dope folks. You know what I'm saying? That I like to see. But no, that was a good one. I mean, Batista was great. All those dudes. I mean,
Batista's amazing. I like Batista. I don't think we got enough. I have to actually look at this because I think they missed each other. I don't think we got
Battle of the Spears. It would be Battle of the Spear. Everybody just be tackling each other. Now, granted, I will give Goldberg that the all-time best spear.
I can't call it. Nope.
Spear.
I don't think
Who got a better spear? It definitely ain't Edge. That shitty spear.
I was going to say
I love Adam Copeland. He does not have a good spear.
I think his spear is fine, but I was personally going to say I think Roman's spear is better. It's more believable. I think Bobby's spear is better, but that's me. Bobby Lashley's everything. I
know it sounds terrible. I don't love.
The spear is a hard move to do in wrestling.
I don't love the spear as a finisher.
Let's just be clear. It's a hard move to make look real, and I think Bobby Lashley does it very well. If you notice, he doesn't use it as a finish. We don't watch
Moose. He ain't one of us.
You know what? I'm gonna stay out of that conversation because I can't beat none of them up.
I don't care. Nah. So I don't even know what he does. Him and the other people down there, whatever, they can go play grab ass with all 12 people watching.
So, back to this question. Legends who we'd like to see fight each other. I think it still can happen, but I would love to see Trish versus Charlotte.
That would be amazing. That's a good one.
That is still very on the table because if I don't know if y'all seen Trish's status lately, but she looks amazing.
Very, very good point. If the spear is done right, it is epic.
Yeah,
it is epic.
Fact.
Who else? There was a couple. Obviously, Macho Man would be amazing. Honestly, I don't know how we missed this. I would love to see a Prime Sean HBK. I would love. Granted, he got another one. He got 97 sons out there running around. Everybody, super kicks used to be a finisher. Now they just be doing that shit to just like, as soon as they kick off the match, super kick. We be having super kick parties.
Prime Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins.
Wait, say that one more time.
Prime Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins.
Give me that shit. Yeah.
I got another one random. Not so random, but random. Montez Ford versus Shawn Michaels.
Yo, where the fuck are the Street Profits?
Well, Montez is injured, so he's healing. Let him heal.
Oh, he's actually hurt? I didn't know he was hurt.
He was in a boot like 3 weeks ago, remember?
I haven't seen him in like a month. I don't know where they've been.
Yes, he was in a boot in a segment with Hit Row or something. If I remember correctly, but he's in a boot. Let the man
That's
heal. He'll be back. He'll be back.
he'll be back.
They'll be back.
Also, I'll be honest with you. We're talking about gimmicks that I don't like. I'm sorry. I don't like Bray Wyatt or any 8 of his gimmicks to this point. I was not here when it was a big thing. I was not paying attention to professional wrestling, and for me, trying to go back and watch it, it's insufferable. So I am sorry, I can't. I am not. That's one of those gimmicks like it
That's
don't
a
work.
hard
But
one
you
to
made
go
up a
back
good
to
point.
try to
Well,
find too.
yeah,
But go ahead.
but you
Yeah,
made a
like to
great
try
point.
to.
You made a fantastic point. Let's see how it is with Trips. With Trips
Yes.
at the helm, I'm open. I'm open to it.
I have to do this. I have since you brought the Bray Wyatt can of worms out. Let me just go ahead and I was there from the beginning. So like I saw beginning NXT Bray Wyatt, when it was Preacher,
Mhm.
the cult leader Preacher Man. And that was really actually very good. You also have to remember like the context of wrestling at that time too. WWE was not that great at the time, and NXT was it coming in as this beautiful fresh air kind of like super
Was
indie
Trips at the helm? Yes.
trims with that hell, right? And you were getting that's where you got the Shield in
The greatest
from,
booker in WWE history.
and that's where you got Big E's NXT run, which was so fun. Like that,
Yeah, okay. With NXT,
and
we could acknowledge
that
this
was the
was
same. That
yes.
was the same NXT Bray Wyatt came from, is what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say. So, like, you got to remember that all of that was happening on the same show. So, at the same show at
Yeah.
the same time. And
If I
so,
was there for that,
yeah, you got to, yeah,
maybe it would have been like and again, it was one of those things, and there's some characters that are like this, right? They're a moment in time type of character, and you have to
right.
be there when
You
it
have to
happens.
kind of see
Otherwise,
the build. Yeah,
exactly.
you have
You
to
know what I mean? So
experience it.
so prime example, I hear people say John Cena's the GOAT. And I'm like, how can you possibly say this? He's corny. I don't care how he has all these championships. Like, I didn't like the character. But those people are like, they're thinking attitude or at the ruthless aggression, Dr. Thugonomics. They're like looking at all of that. So I respect it. Do I think he's the GOAT? No, absolutely not.
I was there. And so listen.
Ooh, okay. That was a gimmick character that I was not mad about.
Who? Bam. But that's a great play. But that's a good example too of it. You got to
Mankind.
remember, Mankind got over when gimmicks were going away, right?
Yep.
And this man and Mick Foley turned around and gave you 3. He gave you Mankind, Dude
And each one of
Love,
them are great. And each
and
one of
Mick
them are awesome.
Foley. And so
Yeah.
it when done
I mean,
right
LA
with the
Knight's
right
kind of a
story,
gimmick,
it
isn't
makes
he?
sense. Yeah, sure. I mean,
Let me talk to you.
yeah. If you got a catchphrase, I guess you got to get
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I'll be very honest with you. Elias is a gimmick. I'm not that fond of it. Like, and both of his characters were gimmicks. Him and his brother,
And
running
Ezekiel.
around out there, and Ezekiel. They're
But you know
all
what? Again,
and
goofy
Ephraim,
wrestling, right?
whatever hell the other one's name was.
But you goofy wrestling though, right? And we got to remember
And,
the
and,
kid.
and, and that's the thing, Goofy wrestling for the win. So I enjoyed his character, but it was,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah,
All right, let's transition a little bit. That was
yeah.
fantastic. Thank you guys. And if you guys have anything else any other characters or people that you would like to see, let me know. All right.
Oh, sorry, got one.
Ooh,
Bring back China. Bring back China. Let me see. I would love to see China versus Bianca Belair. I would like to see China versus Nyla Rose. I would like to see China versus
it is
Jade Cargill.
widely entertaining stuff.
I want, yes, bring back China, but God rest her soul, and have her wrestle all of the women 5 and
Oh
8
my God.
Nova.
Yeah, let me see her against
Rhea Ripley. Yes, please.
Yeah, come on, please sign me the fuck up. Sign me the
All
fuck
of that. Absolutely.
Speaking of Rhea Ripley, you got Mia coming out there, giving her a little comp, which is fun to finally see her have another, woman that she has to get in there
Yes.
that's actually giving the same type of energy. She's big, powerful, and when I say big, I mean muscular, good stature, tight. She's very tall and like that. Booker T, Battle of the Ego. You know what? That's another one. Booker T would be fantastic. I mean,
Booker
granted, he's
T
still doing things and
could
stuff like
actually
that, but
still
I'm talking
wrestle
about
today.
a prime Booker T.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot of fun to watch. I'm trying to think what other, because I've been going back and watching. You know who would be hilarious?
Oh Lord, I'm scared.
Yo, would you want to see Val Venus come back?
No.
Yo,
Next.
you talking about somebody who would not like that gimmick would not work in this era, like at all. Come on, that dude was a legitimate porn star. That shit's hilarious.
I don't
You
even know what's like. How did we even get away with that?
Then who
They
knows?
had Jenna Jameson in the vignettes with him, son. Like
Yo, come on,
in the tub and stuff. I'm like, oh, this was on TV on Monday night. Like,
yo, and I was every bit of fucking like 8 years old, like and watching certain things, not understanding shit. Like, I think they being dirty, but I'm not sure.
But I can't. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not turning away. I'm not supposed to be looking, but I'm looking.
Damn, I was thinking about a couple of in that era but just, I mean, I would say Rikishi, but then I'd just say Solo Sikoa.
And like, you got to remember, Rikishi went through 7,000 gimmicks before we landed to Rikishi.
On Rikishi and Umaga, essentially, that's what Solo is. Solo is a modern day Umaga.
Yes,
he's like body type, everything. He's literally a modern day Umaga. I mean, and I love it. I love it. He's great at that. Literally,
plays it wonderfully.
The exact same thing. Yeah, it's awesome to see. Bloodline's still killing it. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god. They're giving you just
they beat the New Day, sad face one time for their reign.
You know what? By the way,
that's the only one who could have beat them, and I'd have been cool with.
yeah, for sure.
In a great match. It was a great match.
Great match. Come on. Like I saw Top Dollar. Top put this out on Twitter. Yeah, not. You know, who hotter? Not. Who he there? They asked him. They're like, or he tweeted something along the lines of New Day and the Usos go together, you know, like peanut butter and jelly. Like, it's always
like it's your two favorite sets of cousins from outside of the family fighting each other. It's like, yep, that's exactly what it's like.
Come on, man.
Like your favorite cousins on each side of the family. And the telecons.
And the telecons. You know what I'm saying? That's who they are.
I hate it so much. That's exactly who they were.
That's exactly who they are. That's exactly what it is. You know, it is fantastic. Come on now. Come on. Let them know. Let them know.
I got my Black Panther rings on.
There we go. Let them know.
Yeah, I'm a nerd, so that's what's up.
I mean, we're talking about wrestling.
Yes, we are.
Bro, do you not see over my shoulder this like all the? Now, granted, there's cause dolls and shit like that. So that's we a little artsy out here, living in LA and shit like that. Yes. But damn, never mind. It is just a bunch of little hype me shit over there. That's okay. Not one. Now.
I know that's right.
What's up, Namor? We got Namor up here. Hold on.
Yes.
All right.
Great movie, by the way. You guys should go see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. 1000%. Second that motion. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about this really quick. AEW Full Gear. We'll talk about it a little bit more next week, guys, because not only do we have the end of Full Gears this weekend, next weekend we have Survivor Series and War Games. So we'll kind of have an episode talking, really breaking down both of those events. But real quick, Full Gears this weekend.
Yes.
Which matches are you most looking forward to?
Well, real quick, I just got reminded.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry. Did you hear they're talking about possibly getting for one match?
Oh hell!
Because they're already trying to get Stone Cold to do one more match. Do you hear who they're talking about getting him to be in there with? Have you heard this?
Is it him and it's not John Cena? That's Logan Paul.
Nope.
I just read this and who was it? It's Stone Cold versus. Oh, is it CM Punk?
Yes. They're talking about bringing CM Punk for it. First of all, watching CM Punk, the crowd will go nuts if CM Punk popped up.
I'm gonna be very clear with this. There was a time when CM Punk was still signed to WWE.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were actually doing that. And Stone Cold and Punk had like a little situation backstage, or like a backstage segment. I should say.
What? Oh, okay. I thought they
No,
had
it was a
like
segment.
an
No,
issue backstage. I'm about to say,
it
you
was
know,
a
like,
segment.
I was 2 seconds
You was
from being
ready.
thoroughly
You
done
was
with
ready
it.
to
Like
go.
I was like, you
You
know
was
what?
so
Moving on to the
ready.
next thing. It was done. I was
It
like,
was a segment. And when I tell you, the crowd went stupid because the chemistry in that little segment, which was like a little tension, the segment was supposed to be like them having a little tension or whatever.
yeah.
It was one of those things where like, if y'all don't book this, like, why are we not booking this? Like, it should have been booked if, obviously if Stone Cold was healthy. I don't really know what the T was in that regard.
Right.
But if he was healthy and willing to do it, it should have been booked then. And I want to say that had to be like 2011, 12
because
or whatever.
let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a
So
buck. CM Punk, in terms of his wrestling in the like his actual performance as a wrestler,
that's one of
he
Stone
is
Cold's
aging
sons.
in dog years.
Oh God.
Like, because dudes his age are, look at Jericho. He's 63 years old, doing all kinds of shit.
Like, 63? Okay.
Every bit
Thing
of it.
is, no,
Rey
Mysterio. Sting is actually
out there.
63
Rey
years
Mysterio
old.
been wrestling. When I found out Rey Mysterio started wrestling before I was born.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. And doing the same shit he's doing now. First of all, Rey Mysterio damn near should have the Intercontinental Championship right now. Yeah. Because you could have made a story out of it, and he would have been an amazing champ. Give him a belt. Fuck that. Give Ricochet a belt. Fuck that. Give Finn Balor a belt. Fuck it. Give them all belts.
Give them all belts. But all yes,
right. Look, we gotta. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say that I think that if it's possible and if the parties,
I don't.
No. Yes, I saw that. We're gonna ignore it. Stefan, no. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns would not go crazy. Absolutely not.
Dude, I'm sorry. CM Punk ain't good no more. He ain't wrestled good in a minute.
I don't disagree. I don't agree with that. I think that he had some good matches at AEW. I think he got hurt, et cetera, and I think there were still good matches in him. I think that the environment.
He had a good match with Lee Moriarty. He had a good match with Lee.
Great match with MJF was good. Stop it.
That was a good match. That was a good match as well. All right. Speaking of AEW, because we only got about less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Really quick. Full Gear. Most looking forward to.
I am excited a bit. I'm very interested to see if MJF's going to take that title off of Jon Moxley,
or he's been trying to go on vacation for months,
or whatever the story is going to be in regards to that. That's one. I'm excited to see if Nyla Rose is going to beat Jade Cargill for that TBS title. That's two. I'm excited to see if the Elite and them are coming back. That's three.
True.
Those are my three most excited things. I think, and the one you're going to say is the other thing I'm very excited to see.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for not only the Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed match. What I am the most looking forward to is the heel turn of Keith Lee. It is happening this weekend. Keith Lee.
That's my big cousin, Keith Lee.
And you guys know, if you guys watch any of these 36 episodes of the Royal Rundown, you would know that if Sergio likes anything, he likes him a good heel turn. Love me a good heel turn.
He don't just love a good heel. He love it when a mug turn heel. He want to see the turn. He want to see it in real time.
I want to see the turn. Like you guys already know, I am a Ferg fan. Fergalicious was out here, and when Fergalicious finally turned heel, come on, Judgment Day became the greatest thing out there.
Serge was doing backflips. You hear me?
Come on,
off the top rope.
I love Ricochet. You know what made me love Ricochet more? Ricochet playing a dickhead and whooping people's ass. That would make it even better.
When Ricochet went after LA Knight for talking to his girl crazy, I was like, I like that spice talk out.
I like the spiciness.
That was nice. That was nice.
He did say he feels as if he can be the good guy and like beat people up though. He did say that recently. So I was like, let's see. He said he hasn't felt the need.
He could be a spicy talking good guy though. Like,
yeah, he didn't feel the need at this point in time to have to do that. I'm not mad at it.
I agree. I also just remembered, because my sister's in the chat here. My sister and brother-in-law and myself will be at AEW Dynamite on Wednesday next week, a week from right now. We'll be in the building. So yeah, we'll report back about how amazing that is.
Well, look, I cannot wait to hear that. this weekend should be good. AEW, granted, their shows be long as fuck, but if they're not super long, they're still fantastic. The quality of their premium, their pay-per-views are fantastic, and I will be watching. So we have this weekend. Enjoy that. SmackDown, we got Ricochet versus Ali, which is gonna be amazing.
That's gonna be a show
I
stealer.
can't wait to watch that. Oh, for sure. And we got so much more. But aside from that, we have so much amazing wrestling going on. You guys enjoy yourselves. Miss Drady, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I have nothing to say except for have a fabulous rest of your week and be great. And all this hand choreography I got going.
Hey, look, you guys know how we get down. You make sure you go out there. You continue to be great, as Miss Dre just said. She's on this side. As Miss Dre just said, you know what I'm saying? Continue to be great. And also, while you're being great, please do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to this video here. Let me take off the full gear on there. So like, share, and subscribe not only to the Scrap News, the absolute fastest growing YouTube page in all of combat sports. Go ahead and subscribe to the Fight Podcast as well. You can see all the other shows that I do. I do a whole bunch of shit. Check that
Serge
shit
do
out.
a whole bunch of shows. So much so that I watched my first UFC event this past weekend, and now I get to talk Serge. I get to talk to Serge about UFC stuff because I ain't know nothing about it before.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We be breaking shit down. So check that out. Check out the Scrap News. Love you guys. And before we get out of here, as always, I'm going to lead you with some very words of wisdom by one of the GOATs of all of A&Ring in hip hop. Somebody who is a little bit of a philosopher in the way that he thinks. He goes out there and he is always there to let you know what to do when people don't know who you be.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Be certified.